How about the Oklahoma Sooners, my man?
So, yeah, everybody knows at this point. I've been a big backer of this team before the season, and in the first couple of weeks, I've been gassing them up, and, I've been catching shit for it. So, takeaways from this game. Brent Venables, him. Absolutely him. He's turned around the defense. They look fantastic. Dylan Gabriel, everybody laughed at me for saying he was a Heisman candidate. Look up in the race and see who's in there now, because he was incredible. And then the most important part that nobody wanted to talk about before the season. Who's the coach that got out-coached in this game?
I mean, it wasn't even close.
Coach circles around him.
Not only did the Vikings have to beat the Chiefs last night, they got to beat the refs. I don't get it. But I probably won't be fading the Chiefs anymore this season. The NFL's got an agenda, and that's get T Swift to the Super Bowl.
You don't table for it.
Man, I fucking love Georgia. I think this line is crazy. This spread is telling, in my opinion, and it tells me Georgia is going to kick the shit out of them.
Damn, brand new bag for pro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Thursday, episode 333 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your host, Krabs, and Javon on the way. Can't make it up. He gets a text 10 minutes ago saying his couch is about to get delivered in 10 minutes. Now we're here. You guys are stuck with just me for a minute. The milkman is en route, folks. It'll be delivered. Just a little bit delayed today. All right, he'll be on here soon. Chat, we've got unbelievable games today. We have an incredible Thursday night football game. The spread might be at 11. I don't give a hoot. That game's going to be way closer than people think, and it's going to give us a way better Thursday night football game than the public expects. I'm stoked for tonight. We've got college football games, and of course, we've got Braves versus Phillies, game 4. It's going to be madness. Rumor has it PODP might be boots on ground for this game today. Excited to see him and his content there. I'm excited to see who wins this game. It's pretty much going to decide the series. Is it over? Or do the Braves show some heart here and get a big-time win on the road with Strider on the bump? I'm stoked for that game, chat. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk plenty about NFL, college football. We might even craft up a little sprint entry on Prize Picks for the next 4 or 5 weeks for the NFL as well. I think you guys would probably be in for that. If your Goat Whales, if your Megalodons before the season are already caked, maybe we craft up another one to give you some new life to root for the next couple weeks. All right, chat. Why don't we go ahead and do the W recaps while we're still waiting for Javon to get back? And we got hella hype trains and hella sub bangs. Shout out Ant V coming in hot with a resub, 9 months W's. Shout out Jacob Sen, 07. 1 year in federal prison, bang. Sure, somebody break this man out. Even after a squad ride L last night, we're still sitting pretty. We've still gotten out of our little rut from a week and a half ago. Overall, we're still moving and grooving. 141, 99, and 3 for squad rides. Guys, I don't want to hit that 100th loss. Definitely not today. Definitely not this week. So we need to lock in and find some winners today, guys. Jack, get ready to click the right button at the end of BTL. All right. Javon, not his best work. I mean, I did terrible yesterday. It was a regression day. We've been too hot. 1-4 on my official card yesterday. Hate to say it, but W transparency. It is what it is, and I fully faded the best bets on BTL here as well. We got Arnott, Caden coming in hot with a subby. Love to see it. W's, hype train level 1 activated. Chat, if you guys are feeling good today, if you're feeling dangerous, if you've got your coins up, maybe you had a good day gambling yesterday, you're feeling generous, and you want to show the gambling gods, you're a good person. Maybe get some decent karma today. Go give some sub banks to the people. Go give some subbies to the chat, and make sure you guys drop a follow and share the stream with your boys. Guys, I know you're all in gambling group chats. I know you're all talking about winners left and right all fucking day. Why not get us involved? Why not send this in your group chat right now? If you're a BTL OG, send it to the squad in the GC and see if you can get some of your other boys in here watching and supporting the team as we do this for free every single day. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Squad Riders cake yesterday. Guys, hockey's back. I'm stoked. I'm going to be betting on hockey a ton. I'm going to be tailing Shelly, tailing Fruity, tailing the squad on NHL plays all year. But can we not force NHL squad rides anymore, folks? I know we're stoked that hockey's back. I know we cashed yesterday on a little NHL squad ride to open up the season, so I didn't mind going back to it today. But we know who the real hockey sharks are. It's not me. Javon knows hockey a little bit more than me, but Shelly and Fruity are the guys we need to be tailing, and we need to stick to knowing ball with football, baseball, college basketball on the way, folks. I'm so stoked. 25 days away. Who's stoked for CBB? Who's stoked? Who's ready? Anybody? Are you guys not even excited about it yet because we got so many other sports coming up? Guys, don't let CBB get here. It's on the way. 25 days. Need it like air. And we've got way too many topics to cover today to be talking about CBB yet, but we'll definitely do some segments before the season talking about teams we like, just like we do with every sport. And to be honest with you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure our preseason reads, preseason, season-long slips on Prize Picks, stuff like that, might be our best work, knock on wood. We've had some pretty good success with our reads preseason, our futures, and our Prize Picks season-long entries. Let's keep moving and grooving. I'm begging them to get college basketball squares up, guys. Just stick with me. Got to be patient. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. Chat, real quick, we're going to go over these shitty Prize Picks slips from yesterday. But first, I want to know from chat, is it Phillies? Is it Braves today? Maybe we get up a poll for the people, Goots, and see what they're thinking. But would love to know what chat's on before I kind of reveal what I'm liking here. I want to see what chat likes. Who's winning this game? Backs against the wall for Atlanta today. Spencer Strider on the bump after chirping and saying there should be no fans at the games. Now he's got to go play at probably the craziest atmosphere in MLB history in Philly right now with this run. I mean, these fans are ruckus. They are loose cannons. Maybe they got some screws loose in their head. I don't know. I wouldn't blame them. It's Philly. It is what it is. These guys have the most passion for their sports teams, and you got to tip your cap at some point. They might be a little crazy, but they care. And that place is about to be freaking nuts today. Absolutely bonkers. So let me know in chat in the poll, who's winning this game today? Atlanta, Philly, I want to know. I think it's more of a coin flip than the money line odds show. All right, folks. Let's go over that cake Prize Picks A team and B team from yesterday. Hate to see it. We'll zoom in here a little bit for the entry and go A team and then B team. But it really be Freddie Freeman not doing a single thing in the playoffs. What a joke from the Dodgers. Honestly, the Dodgers probably should have been in steamed crabs today so I could bitch about them after I switched my Braves future to LA before the playoffs. But, man, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, where did you go? What happened? You ended up being, the two best guys, two best hitters pretty much the entire season overall, the best 1-2 punch in a lineup in MLB, potentially MLB history. if they can keep stacking these numbers up for the next few years, and then they go and drop a goose egg. Maybe those 5 days off are too much, and maybe they got to go back to the drawing board and give these teams who have buys more of an advantage. I don't know, but Freddie, man, what are we doing? You were useless this entire series, and so was Mookie. My God, disgusting. All right, and then B team as well. The other two squares up there hit, by the way, folks. Lawrence was free and Max was free. On the bottom here, I mean, Kelly had about 700 yards. He looked like Justin Jefferson healthy out there. It was nuts. And then obviously the hockey square smacked. It was just Diego Pavia, which was my square. That did not. That was a Mooshit square. That's on me. So hate to go 2 for 3 in both entries, but this is why I sneak nuke flex pieces with the A team and the B team. And it's actually done me pretty well because we go 2 for 3 a lot, or 3 for 3. Len Bong coming in hot with his subby WBTLs. W Len Bong. Len, don't forget, we do it all for you, my man. And we get a hype train level 2, folks. Can we get the hype train to level 5 today? 5's my lucky number. Would love to get it to 5 after a Mooshit gambling day and get the vibes back on our side here, folks. W's. All right. I got to go over some of my losers from yesterday real quick before we dive into the Week 6 NFL preview here and go over some of our favorite angles for the weekend. Guys, I'm not done with Brad Cornelsen. You thought I was roasting him yesterday because, he was a Mooshit offensive coordinator at VT. And honestly, Fuente caught all the flack, and he should. He's the head coach. He gets paid the big bucks. That's what they do. They take the flack. But, guys, Brad Cornelsen was right up there with Fuente as ruining the Virginia Tech football program. I put him right there, 1A, 1B with Fuente. This guy does not know how to coach an offense. I don't know how he even got that role at Virginia Tech originally. I'm sure he's one of Fuente's buddies because they're both assholes. Guys, remember, I talked about this yesterday. Brad Cornelsen in the Pinstripe Bowl about 3 years ago against Maryland, the last time VT was in a bowl game. First play of the game because he knew he was about to get fired, and he was tired of hearing VT Twitter and the VT community bitch about his shitty play calling and bitch about him calling a million jet sweeps every single game that never, ever worked. What does he do in the first play of the game in that bowl game? He runs a freaking jet sweep, pretty much turns around to the crowd, gives him a big middle finger, and says, I'll go about my day. Well, where does Brad Cornelsen end up? He ends up at Sam Houston State as they go to the FBS for the first season. I mean, guys, these are one of the best FCS teams in football, and then they move up to FBS, and they still haven't gotten their first win. It's night and day watching this Sam Houston team make that jump up compared to Jacksonville State that looks like a legitimate FBS team already, at least hanging around there in these games. Something's off with Sam Houston State, and I'm blaming that bald-ass head right over there. I mean, that thing is shinier than the king's head from the SpongeBob movie when it made Patrick scream my eyes. Look how shiny this freaking bald head is. It's disgusting. I hate looking at it, and this guy is the worst offensive coordinator in the history of offensive coordinators. He's balder than Stone Cold Steve Austin. He needs to start smacking some beers together. He might as well be in the UFC because he's not going to have, or he might as well be in the WWE because he's not going to freaking have an offensive coordinator job after this season, guys. I mean, Sam Houston State, they showed so much heart in the second half, but their offensive play calling was disgustingly atrocious in the first half of this game. I mean, they were down 27-0 at halftime. What are we doing? Like, why even play the game? I joke about not needing to play the games when you guys are talking about these spreads being weird and shit and just wanting to lay the public favorites, but why even play the game if Brad Cornelsen's calling the offensive snaps here? They ended up coming back and they lost 27-13. They actually outscored their opponent, New Mexico State, 13-0 in the second half, but it was too late. And guys, I'm not the only one who notices this stuff. We got a random ass dude here on Twitter. It took 3 seconds to find this. Sam Houston State OC is trash, and guess who it is? Brad Cornelsen from VT. So I'm willing to bet this is a VT burner or something like that, or a guy in the community. And he's had enough with Cornelsen. And guys, as soon as I found out he was the OC on stream yesterday, I shouldn't have even touched this team with a 10-foot pole because their coach is a bozo. He's a bozo. He is. I hate to say it. Sam Houston State will not be in any more of my bet slips. I don't care how sharp they are. I don't care how bad of a team they're playing against. If they have Brad Cornelsen calling the plays, we cannot bet on them. If anything, we fade them because this guy has no clue what he's doing. He is lost out there. You might as well hand me a clipboard because that probably worked out better than Brad Cornelsen. I mean, guys, they're the worst ranked team in college football. It's not a coincidence that the OC who ran Virginia Tech into the ground and completely ruined our program is now doing the same thing at Sam Houston in their first year in the FBS. So I'm done with this guy. He's a moose shit OC. He's got to be the worst head coach in college football or the worst offensive coordinator in college football. I won't be putting my coins on him or Sam Houston ever again. And I think we've got W. Javon coming in hot right now.
W's. Tens.
How's that couch looking?
It's looking great. I feel like I'm legit like getting fucked with. Like every single thing for this apartment has just been as hard as possible. And here we go. Yeah.
Unbelievable. They're just throwing you for a loop, man.
Every time. I feel like they're just testing me.
They might just be fucking with you. Straight up.
It might be.
Okay. All right, chat. We're going to keep moving and grooving. VT's winning on Saturday, though, and W Hat. Yes, W Hat. And VT probably will win on Saturday. They're a favorite for some reason. We'll talk about that tomorrow when we do the college football preview. Javon today just went through the recap. We got to hop in real quick to the NFL Week 6 preview and power through. Give the people some winners early before the weekends. Guys, remember, with these, you can always go back and rewatch BTL this weekend and get the plays that we're leaning for our favorite snooze fest, Mikey over, Blowout, the whole shebang, upset alert, prize pick squares. You can always go back and rewatch on YouTube and Twitch. Okay, people sleep on that. They forget about it. You can. You don't got to write these down in your notebooks. But remember these plays, all right, because they're probably going to smack, and these are our favorite ones of the NFL Week 6 so far, Javon. We'll hop right into Snooze Fest. Why not us? All right, we'll get the boring game out of the way. Javon, looks like you're rolling with Philly and the Jets under 41. What do you like about the under in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a Zach Wilson disaster class, and I think everything about the Eagles' defense is going to force the Jets. I mean, we saw them last week against the Broncos, had moderate success. Some of that was due to a couple drives with really good field position, but they were really good, especially in the ground game. Breece Hall kind of gave stability there, and in the first week where he had kind of no leash on him, he was able to take a full workload. I don't think that's going to matter much against the Eagles defense, which are starting to get a little bit healthier. So they're instilling a little more confidence in me. And then last week, they had a really good performance against a good Rams offense. So I think that carries over to this week. And then it's going to be just an attack on the ground game with them, which I do respect the Jets defense. Maybe they're a tad overrated. The numbers will tell you that they're a tad overrated, but I think it's going to be a lot of long, surgical, methodical drives in the ground game for the Eagles, and the Jets not going to be able to go blow for blow with them.
Okay. That total is low, Devin says. Yep, probably for good reason. And I'm in on that under, for sure. I got a nasty one myself, Javon. Talk about low totals. Yeah, I got one for you. How about under 37.5 in San Francisco and Cleveland, Javon? I don't care if Watson's playing. I don't care if he's not playing. I don't care if he's out there for all 4 quarters. It doesn't matter to me because it's either going to be a banged-up Watson rushing to get back there or it's going to be a new shit backup. Either way, I don't think Cleveland's going to be scoring much against the best defense in the NFL in San Francisco. And to be honest with you, this is a letdown spot for the Niners. They've now beaten the Cowboys in a spot where everyone expected, Dallas to go in there and maybe pull off some funky upsets. Well, the 49ers really have not battled much adversity this entire season. It is what it is. Maybe they get caught sleeping here a little bit, Javon, on the road, traveling to a team potentially without their star QB. And even if he's in there, I mean, the Browns are 2-2. It's not like he's really played up to his potential yet this season, dealing with some injuries and shit. So I think it's the under in this game without a doubt. And guys, let's not sleep on the Browns defense. I still think they're one of the best defenses in the NFL, and they get zero credit. Maybe they're not putting up the fantasy football points, but if you watch their defense play, they're claims. And they're going to do that against a team who they're going to catch sleeping coming into town who's 5-0, the 49ers, who beat everybody they play. Brock Purdy still hasn't gotten a loss in his NFL career. Guys, even Tom Brady loses. Everybody loses. And I still love the 49ers. I still think they're probably the Super Bowl favorite right now. But I'll tell you what, the Browns might cover this game too, especially if Deshaun Watson plays. But even if he doesn't, whether he's playing hurt or whether he's out, the Browns aren't scoring. And I don't think the Niners are scoring much either against this underrated Browns defense, Javon. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I really understand comments like these. They're going to drop 42 alone or get this on their own. Browns defense has been fantastic, like absolutely fantastic. They put some respect on their name. So this is also, I think a lot of the totals are lower this week because there's a lot of wind involved, which that's the one. If you want to be a weatherman in the NFL, that's the way you want to do it, taking windy unders. So it's not definitely not many overs on the board that stand out to me this week, and I think for good reason. But I think the Browns defense absolutely locks in. They're also coming off a bye, and I talked about this with the Niners specifically because were my Super Bowl champion from the beginning of the year, but I also said there's going to be a couple spots like this because they play 4 teams coming off of a bye. Some of them are on national television in short weeks too. It's a tough spot. Even Deshaun Watson or no Deshaun Watson, that defense is going to lock in.
At home, right? The 5-0 Niners coming in, feeling great. They can't lose with Brock Purdy. They look like the best team in football by far. Coming off that big win against Dallas, that's got to feel good for Shanahan. You know he still hates Dallas. Everybody hates Dallas, but as an old Niners coach, I'm sure he's still got some of that pent-up aggression. And by the way, when Shanahan wants to beat a coach, he does. I want to put that on record too. I feel like whenever he's got beef with any other coaches or whenever people are chirping who's the better coach, Shanahan gets it done. And it runs in his blood. Honestly, he's got a little bit of an edge. I mean, his dad's a Hall of Fame coach. He's so legit. And I would literally give my left nut to have him be the head coach of my football team. That's how good of a coach he is.
Yes.
That's how good he is.
So good.
And that defense is going to be cooking. Maybe their offense gets caught lacking in Cleveland, but both Ds are going to be turned up. That's why the total's going down 4 points.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
Dubs, let's keep moving and grooving here, folks. We got the Mikey over of the weekends, our favorite overs. All right, plain and simple. Mine's square. I don't care. I'm going the over in Arizona and LA. I just keep seeing this game visualized in my brain. I think I've had dreams about it because I'm so excited about this game. I think there's going to be 60 points in this game. It's not just going to be the Rams either. Let's talk about the Rams offense, by the way. They're good. And the Rams overall are pretty good. But their offense with Matt Stafford, who's potentially going to be a future Hall of Famer, with Sean McVay, an underrated coach who nobody believed in before the season with their Mooshit roster, 2 weapons in Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, who are 2 of the best receivers in the game. One guy is coming off a bum hammy. One guy, nobody even knew who the hell he was. And watch them play. They are legit. Matt Stafford has a connection with these 2 gentlemen, even with Puka, who's only been there for a couple weeks. It's incredible to watch this offense. They're only going to get better as the weeks go on. Everything in this game is pointing towards an over, and points from the Rams totals up about 3 or 4 points in this game, Javon. Matt Stafford getting talked about as the best claim in fantasy football if you need a QB this week. I mean, Javon, you want to know how high I am on Matt Stafford in this offense this week? I picked up Matt Stafford in one of my leagues when I have Joe Burrow and Brock Purdy on that team. So now I have 3 QBs. I literally dropped a guy who I potentially wanted to stash on my team for the rest of the season just to pick up Stafford this week because I think he's going to win me my fantasy football matchup. That's how dominant this offense is going to be against the Mooshit Carolina Cardinals secondary. And let's not sleep on Arizona's offense either, Javon. Josh Dobbs might not have jerseys in his own freaking team store in his stadium, but he's better than people expected, and he deserves his flowers too. Even without James Conner, I never worry about running back injuries too much. I'm a big plug-and-play RB guy anyways. It's going to be Josh Dobbs through the air, finding ways to hit his receivers. He's got a couple of them that are pretty decent, and this offense will continue to overperform this season, Javon. There's going to be points from both sides. Yes, I like the Rams to cover. Do I think it might be too easy? Sure. But this over is too easy, and it's not going to matter. It's still going to hit. There's going to be 60 points in this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. This is far and away, I would say, my favorite over on the board too, but I don't want to pick the same one. So option two, we go with Miami and Carolina. Kind of a little more of a square angle there because we did see probably carbon copies of what we need from both these teams, kind of on the opposite spectrums last week. But I do think the Carolina defense is going to be interesting. It's going to be a weird matchup for the Dolphins because they're good. They get pressure on the front 7, but for teams that have speed at pretty much every level, that just means that Tua is going to be able to utilize that a little better because he's going to have to because they have a good pass rush. They're going to force a good amount of pressure on Tua, more than he's seen for a majority of the season so far. But what does that do? He just knows he has to get the ball out in space to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So I have no problem backing points from that offense. Still, kind of like the same approach that we saw with the Lions, who did that last week, even without their top target. I think it's more from the same there. And then I talked about this with Daniel Jones last week when I took his under interception. The one thing that was the issue with him, obviously you have a terrible offensive line. The Dolphins' pass rush is not good. So what has been one of the issues with the Panthers pretty much at every level? They get a lot of pressure on Bryce Young. Every team does because their offensive line is terrible. They can't run the ball because the offensive line is terrible. This is not a dominant Dolphins offensive line. It's like if we want to see a decent performance from Bryce Young, especially, if they're trailing by a lot in this game, and you're seeing pretty soft coverage with a soft pass rush, I think he's going to be all right. So I think we get points on both sides here.
Okay, points. Javon, we're going to need them from both sides to hit both these high totals. Don't sleep on the Panthers this week. 0-5. People are talking about Bryce Young. Is he good? Is he bad? I'm sure he's got a couple good games in him this season. He might not be the guy, but he's one of the hardest workers in football. He's going to figure out a way to get that offense going. I'm not saying he's going to be the starting QB of the future there. Honestly, I don't think he is, but don't sleep on Bryce Young against this overrated Dolphins defense a little bit to put up some points. I wouldn't even hate them to cover. I don't know if I can go with that angle, but I'm with you on this over. Give me points from both teams. We know the Dolphins are going to be scoring. Come on.
Yeah.
Elite.
Nonstop.
Absolutely elite. All right, we'll move on to blowouts. Two teams we think are going to not only win and cover this week as a favorite, but win big. Outright, spreads aside, these two teams were picking to win big time this week. And Javon, you made this one personal.
Yeah, I kind of did. Kind of did.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
What are you thinking about the shit Falcons this week, huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking. This is it's a tough spot. Like, honestly, the Commanders' offense and Sam Howell.
And
I don't
time
trust
out real
Sam Howell.
quick.
Time out.
We got a bazillion subbies from Alec, and we got to give him his flowers.
Oh,
10
W.
piece
Alec. W. Alec. Count him up.
10 piece from
Count 'em
Alec
up.
coming in hot.
Big goal.
One of our OGs in here every day giving out subbies. Love to see it, Alec. We got to get you a squad ride winner and a prize picks entry for today, my man. Let me know what you're on. Need to know. And Ron Muck's Clan, as always, Javon, it's a new day, and we get a new sub bang from Ron Muck's Clan. The GOAT. Love to see it.
Texas and Ron Subbanks.
Javon, tell me why you're on this moose shit wager this weekend.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more square plays in the NFL that hits this week. Because it is, 2.5, which in essence, kind of seems a little short, but it's also the Falcons. And with the way they play, I don't think you can value them much higher. But the Falcons here, I don't see Sam Howell going into Atlanta getting a win. But I do think there's paths to success for their offense. I just don't think it's sustainable for the entire game. I think that defense is going to lock in a couple specific areas, which I'll talk about when we get to prize pick squares. But I love that. And I also love the inverse of last week happening. Everybody knows how terrible the Commanders secondary has been all season. We saw Justin Fields just recently on prime time kind of expose that for the world after he's been shit for a couple weeks now. Desmond Ridder just had the best game of his career by a wide margin. He threw for 330 in a game, which was shocking to me because he was going up against the literal worst run defense in the league. And guess what? Bijan and Tyler Algier really didn't get much of a run game going. So Desmond Ridder had to win them that game. I think we flip-flopped to classic Falcons football here. And Bijan and Algier really lock in, and the run game is pretty dominant, and the Falcons kind of win just like the Falcons do in that kind of style of football. So I do think the Commanders will make it interesting. I just do think the Falcons will pull away in the end. They're too physical, too good in the run game, and I don't trust Sam Howell on the road in that environment where the Falcons are the greatest team of all time.
Okay. W. Krabs Blaze, W. Chiete. Good to see you again, my man. You've been geeking me on Surge Stream, telling the Chelle. Love to see it. Javon, did you know Desmond Ridder has never lost a home game?
I did.
In his career. Now, I'm not counting high school, not counting Pee Wee. That'd be weird. But college on, this guy's never lost a home game. Not at Cincinnati for 4 years. Not this season. He hasn't done it. Ever.
Yeah.
Right? And I thought it was pretty weird to see the line move back to -2.5 here, Javon. I mean, you're telling me the Manders are -0.5, which isn't really even a real line here, but you're telling me the Manders right now are evened up with the Falcons on a neutral site in this game?
Well, see, that's a valid point until I look at some of the look-ahead lines that are out for the Falcons, because that's kind of the approach I'm taking. Like, it's square, yes.
You were ready for this one, huh?
Yes, because I've had this conversation with a couple people about this game. I think they're undervalued just generally in the market because you really can't value them much higher. Because when I look at their games the next couple weeks, they play the Bucs next week in Tampa. They're 3-point underdogs. They play the Titans on the road, 2.5-point underdogs the week after that. They play the Vikings at home the week after that. The look-ahead line right there is -1. The Falcons -1. So I just think that's where the market's at for the Falcons. That's just, I know it's square. It's easier. Open -2, like we're saying in chat. I just think that's what the market is.
Okay. And that's fair. I could agree with that. I don't think the books, honestly, the public know how good the Falcons really are. Not saying they're a great team, but I still think
because of how they play too. It's like they're not a I know that the category here is blowout, but it's really just favorite. They're not going to go out there and demolish teams. That's just not their style of football. So, like, if they were 3.5, 4-point favorites in this game, I would have probably just as many units as I had on them against the Texans last week.
Okay. That's crazy. That makes me sad. That makes my heart hurt. Yeah, no chance the Manders keep this game competitive on the road after how bad they've looked the last 3 weeks. You're so right. That defense stinks. Sam Howell, not that guy. Ron Rivera, not a good coach. There's zero chance. I mean, the Falcons won last week on a game-winning kick. Desmond Ritter's never lost at home, Javon. There's no way. There's no way.
Make it close. When we get to prize picks, though, I feel like you can back my angle because it's actually pro commanders.
I can. Yep, you're taking command with your PP square. Love to see it, and I do like that square, and we'll get to that in a moment here, Javon. But you know what? The Manders defense under Dust Up Del Rio, they always do this. They start off atrocious. They start off as the worst defense in football for the first 4 weeks. There's actually a weird tweet that I saw, and I tried to find it today, but I couldn't, about their stats since he's been the DC in the first 4 weeks of the season compared to the rest of the year. It's honestly weird. I don't know what this guy's doing before the season, probably not coaching. Or in the first month of the year, he's not making any adjustments that he needs to. But, month 2 and on, the Manders defense tends to figure it out. Not saying our secondary is going to. I am extremely concerned with our first-round pick playing corner who seems like he can't even cover a parked car. And I am concerned with this guy who's still calling the shots right now, standing there like he's literally being worked like a puppet, like he's not even a real human being because he doesn't even speak on the sidelines or do any coaching. How can you be a head coach in football if you don't talk one time or open your mouth on the sidelines? I don't get it. What do you do? And by the way, that's a combo for another time because I'm just going to start getting pissed again. But guys, the Manders defense will figure it out. I don't know if Forbes is the guy. I don't know if St. Just is the guy. They've been getting cooked like they're literally, cookies you throw in the oven. That's how bad they've been getting cooked. It's disgusting. But they're better than this. They got to be, and we always start out slow. Don't give up on the Manders just yet. It's a long season. Let's move.
Starts next week.
Starts next week. Okay, and if that's the case, it is what it is. The Manders do this every year. They start out like shit, and then they get going. The only time they've gotten into the playoffs the last 2 times have been legacy runs in the second half of the year. It's because they have shitty coaching, and they don't know how to prep before the season or make adjustments early on. It takes them a little bit because they're a little slow. They're a little dumber than the other coaches. All right, they're a little slow. You got to give them some time. Okay, guys, upset alert for this week. Let's do it. Give me Tampa and give me the Pats. Javon, these are nasty, man. You want to get started here with your team? Golly.
Yeah, which, if I'm taking the Bucs, I feel good about them because everybody knows at this point how I intentionally try to be very pessimistic about Baker Mayfield on this team because I think the Baker kind of era is kind of coming when we see the Baker of old. But in this matchup, I think this is a pretty good spot for them, especially they're coming off a bye as well where they needed to get healthy. They had a couple guys out as well back in the secondary. And then, of course, Mike Evans, which his status is still a little bit up in the air, but hoping we see him. But the Bucs going up against the Lions, the one thing the Lions do obviously really well, they've been one of the best rush defenses in the league this year, and that's really thrown a lot of teams off that rely on that. The Bucs don't rely on that. And yeah, no shot it happens, right? The Bucs don't rely on the run game. Rashad White is incredibly inefficient. They have no run game. Him, Sean Tucker, none of them are efficient. So, they don't lean on the run game just in general anyway. So this is kind of an approach they're going to have to take against this defense that a lot of people are prone to, or at least that organization is very prone to, even back from the Tom Brady days. They really didn't have a run game either. So now with Baker, this is kind of the approach against this defense that is exactly what they want to take. So at home, where a lot of quarterbacks, if you go back, and I've seen this time and time again, a lot of quarterbacks that don't very often go into Tampa at this time of year, and a lot of quarterbacks that play indoors, they don't play very well. So, I think this line it's going to be a very close game, and that's a little trend to keep an eye on there. Jared Goff doesn't throw many interceptions, but I guess we'll talk about sprints there too. But it's going to be a really good spot for this Bucs defense. I think this is a slugfest. Lions don't score it well like they do against everybody else.
Yeah. Javon, there's some Mike Evans talk in chat. I don't even think he practiced today, so that's going to be TBD. I can already see it. It'll be a game-time decision.
It's going to be a Godwin game anyway. I don't think it'll matter.
Okay. I'll tell you what, Javon, I almost wanted to take the Bucs as well. I'm with you. Jared Goff, he's a dome guy. Pause. And I don't blame him for being a dome guy, by the way. But he's a dome guy. Javon, he loves playing indoors. He needs a good atmosphere, no winds, no sort of outside factors. That's the only way Jared Goff has really performed well in his career. That's why he's rejuvenated his career in Detroit, playing in that dome up there. It is what it is. He cannot play as well on the road. He can't play as well in bad atmospheres or dealing with all the other, intangibles going on. It's just how it is. It's Jared Goff. He's not Tom Brady. Okay. This spread is ridiculous. It's disgusting. Honestly, Javon, I knew you were going to pick this, so I gave you one. Probably still will be on the Pats too in this spot. I'll be on both these. They're so gross, but it's got to be the Bucs. That has to be the best looking dog to me of the entire weekend right now. Chat is confirming it, is what they're doing, talking about no way they lose to the Lions. Guys, if that was the case, why would they even have the games being played? Why would they risk these guys getting hurt if it was that free? It's football. Let them play the 4 quarters. We don't know what the fuck's going to go on. And I'll tell you what, you give that Bucs defense, you give that bozo coach you guys have down there who does know a little bit about defense 2 weeks to prepare for this. Maybe they got something coming for Jared Goff who doesn't like playing on the road. All right. Let me get the Pats +3. People in chat are saying this is the gambling Twitter fake sharp play of the weekends. It might be. I don't give a hoot. If it was against any other team, what'd you say?
I said I haven't seen any Bucs tickets personally.
Yeah, I haven't either, to be honest with. Or no, I'm talking about the Pats.
Oh, the Pats.
The Pats. Have you seen any Pats tickets?
I don't think I have. Nobody wants the Pats.
Well, either way, I don't even give a hoots because this is a straight coaching bet. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be on the Pats in this spot, Javon, if they were playing any of the other teams in the entire league. But they're playing against the Raiders, who are probably one of, if not the most poorly coached team in the league. We've seen that over the last couple of years. My goodness. And he's going against his old coach, his old protege. You're telling me that Bill Belichick, who right now is getting roasted more probably the past week or two than he has in his entire coaching career combined. You got Mac Jones coming out saying he's got no weapons. Everybody bitching. They're playing like crud. They literally scored 0 points last week. They scored 3 points the week before. This is looking like the worst offense in football. And I agree with everything that's coming out. Mac Jones has no weapons. And I think Mac Jones has actually played a little bit better than people expect. He hasn't played good. He's played bad. But he hasn't been the worst QB in football like everyone automatically assumes. He doesn't have any guys. And you know what they haven't been doing enough recently, Javon? They haven't been running the ball enough. And I'm not saying I'm a Ramondre guy. We're actually seeing the snap share for RBs honestly tilt a little bit more towards Zeke every single week. It's not 50-50 yet, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
I want it to get there. I do. I want to see Zeke running for his fucking career out there. I want to see Ramondre prove to the world that he deserves that starting role and he's not going to give it up because right now it's slipping away. I want to see these two big beasts in the backfield carry this offense against the Raiders' moose shit defense. And I want to see Mac Jones against the Raiders' prevent D that's worked better this season where they play deeper and avoid the big plays that burned them all last season. That's perfect against the Patriots in that passing attack. Beat them slow with little quick passes and slants. They can succeed against this defense. And I'll tell you right now, chat, Bill Belichick is not fucking losing to the Raiders. He's not losing to McDaniels. He's not losing to Jimmy G. The Patriots are going to win this game outright. You don't even need the fucking points, but I put them up there for show. The Pats get rights. I've never heard as much shit talk about the greatest coach maybe in sports history, Bill Belichick, ever in my life. And you're telling me you're betting the Raiders, who has one of his coaching proteges, running their show, which looks like a clown show, they're going to beat them? Come on. Give me the Pats. They get right this weekend. It's not going to be easy. This one might give you high blood pressure, but you know what? My plays always do, and the nastier they are, the better. Give me the Pats +3.
There we go. Lock it in.
Are you in or out?
Masterclass.
Are you in?
I'm in.
Okay. Dubs, let's do prize pick squares real quick here, Javon, and then we're going to wrap this up with the meat on tape play of the NFL Week 6. Guys, I'm squaring up for catch. I'm taking Stafford, more than passing yards. This could have been at 350. I wouldn't give a shit. He's going to have 400, and he's going to win me a fantasy week, and he's going to win my survivor pool and advance the Rams. He's going to cash the over. Matt Stafford is going to be my guy this weekend. I am stoked to watch that offense play against the Cardinals. Moose shit did, plain and simple. I'm going Stafford, more than 279.5 pass yards. I wish they had his pass attempts up there. They don't yet, but I'm going to love that square too, Javon. They're going to be slicing and dicing them through the air this entire game, and Stafford is going to ball Puka and Cup are going to tweak this weekend, folks. Pay up for them in your DFS leagues because they're going to win you in week 6. Plain and simple. Give me Stafford to ball and give me Justin Fields to stink. Regression. People are talking about this is the best Justin Fields ever looked at his entire football career. I freaking bet, guys. It's been 2 games. And one of them was against the Manders and the other one was against the Broncos. Slow your roll, no football, and stop letting recency bias override your smart brain. Okay, think about the whole season here and look at the lines because they're speaking to us. If you look at Justin Fields' prize pick square here, he's got 4 touchdowns in the last 4 games or last 2 games each, Javon. And now they're hanging up this 1.5 touchdowns against the Moose Shit Vikings. Yeah, I bet. That makes sense. Go ahead and give me Justin Fields less than 1.5 touchdowns here. You're not going to see the Bears look as sharp as they did against my Moose Shit Commanders and the Broncos recently.
Do you see that Kirk square too while we're on the topic?
Yeah, I almost took that one too.
Yeah, I was
The touchdown
surprised that
square?
you didn't put that one in here instead.
That was honorable mention. What do you got? What do you got?
Yeah. Well, Logan Thomas, that's my over, is more than 35.5 receiving yards, which outside of the Packers game, which aside of this, like Logan Thomas has been Gronk lately. It's been absolutely insane. New favorite target, it seems like, for Sam Howell. But Falcons is the one place where they're vulnerable, and there's a reason why. Other than the Packers game where Jordan Love only completed like 13, 14 passes, I'm looking at the last couple of games here, which last week, Dalton Schultz was the Texans' leading receiver. He had 7 for 65. Evan Ingram, 7 for 59. Laporta, 8 for 84. Week 1, even Hurst was the leading receiver for the Panthers with 5 for 41. And the reason is like their secondary is good. We're going to have AJ Terrell, one of the most underrated corners in the league, up against Terry McLaurin. So I don't really think he's going to be all that much of a factor in this game. And it just lines up perfectly. The Falcons have linebackers that are good kind of in run stuffing, but not as great in coverage. So again, when you have really good corners and linebackers that are not great in coverage, what do? You attack a team with their tight ends. So Logan Thomas is in the perfect spot, and now he's just been absolutely feasting as of late. So I'm riding the wave with him.
Yep. Seems to be his favorite target, leading the team in targets, which is also an issue. And that's the one thing that makes me worry about this square. There's no way at the end of the season that Logan Thomas is leading this team in targets. If he is, that's an issue.
Yeah.
Just plain and simple. Get Terry the ball. Get Dotson the ball. Get Samuel the ball. Feed Gibson in the slots. Shit. Even a little dink off to B-Rob every once in a while will be just fine to me. We can't be running this offense through Logan Thomas. That's kind of part of the issue. Maybe he's the only one that's figured out this new offense yet. He is a veteran. He's been around the block. Very smart guy. Used to play QB. Absolute beast. Love Logan Thomas, and everyone should too. The guy's a stand-up dude and a great player, and for him to switch to QB to tight end and be this successful is fucking awesome. But Logan Thomas, we can't keep feeding this guy. He can't be our number one weapon. But maybe you get one more week of him balling before Sam Howell and the offense at the enemy figures out how to share the wealth a little bit more. I'm in.
Yeah, too good of a matchup. And I was looking too, and it's minuscule, but did get bumped up a yard. I was surprised to see both of mine got bumped up, and I put these in. We made this literally like right as we started. So he got bumped up a yard, and then Rachaad White got bumped down. Rachaad White got bumped down 5 yards in the half an hour since we started this, which is nuts. Which again, like the Bucs are going to win this game or stay in this game with Baker Mayfield in the short pass game with Chris Godwin. Now with Rachaad White, this Lions offense, this Lions runs defense has been way too good for this Bucs rushing attack to attack, and there's a reason why. Again, like the Bucs are not going to come in here expecting to run the ball down the Lions' throat because they can't. And Rachaad White is not very good. And the second they're going to try and get into that, they're going to have to do the run game by extension. Which whenever they go up against really good rush defenses, it's short screens, quick screens to Chris Godwin. They even put Rachaad White out, a little bit of wide receiver in and a couple swing passes, which is, again, run game by extension, which we'll talk about when we get to the NFL sprint stuff. But he ain't going to be dominant in the rush game. It's going to be ugly for him.
Okay. Philip, this might be a crazy response that I didn't think I'd be saying in week 6 of the NFL season. Crab, should I start Kittle or Logan Thomas in fantasy?
It's got to be
Phillip.
Logan Thomas.
It's Philip. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Philip, it's night and day right now, at least this week with matchups. And if we're on the under in San Fran and Kittle just had a legacy day, no way you go back to him. You got to go back to LT to go. I didn't think I'd be saying that at this point in the season. Maybe that's why the Manders suck. That's an issue. Okay. All right. And yeah, crazy comment from Coach here. Addison should put up big numbers and really put the pedal to the metal. with Jefferson out the next 4 weeks. If he actually said that, that is a crazy pun, and that had to not be intentional after the guy was going 200 miles an hour and like a 60.
Yeah.
The hell. All right, chat, W squares, take a little screenshot of this with your brain, but you can always go back and rewatch on YouTube and Twitch. All right, Meat on Tape plays of the weekend. Javon, got to power through these. Looks like you're going with the Rams team total over. Sell me that. Sell me this, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to because I feel like you're right on par with it. But like we were talking about yesterday, the one thing with this Rams offense and why they were so uncomfortable last week, especially, is because they're facing a really good front seven that was putting a lot of pressure on Stafford in that offense. Again, I always bring it back to Daniel Jones because there's been 2 spots where he's actually somewhat succeeded at least what I was expecting him to do. When he faced really good pass rushes, he was terrible. That offensive line was terrible. When he faces really bad pass rushes, he's been somewhat decent. And that second half against the Cardinals is a legacy second half, best half of football he's put together all year against a really bad pass rush. And the offensive line was solid. What do you think the Rams offense is going to do with a lot of quick passes to Puka and Kupp, but also a lot of longer developing routes, which make them so difficult to guard? That pass rush is not getting home. Those corners are getting cooked. Now you're putting them on an island with no pressure on Matthew Stafford. Give me a break. They're going to put up 40 in this game.
Give Javon a freaking break, folks. Give it to him. Because this is a ridiculous line. I don't care if this team total is at 40. You're taking this. 35. You're taking this.
Maybe we get like 34.5 in the hook.
You're taking this.
We'll see. I'm still taking it. And yeah,
guys, the Rams
before you go to your under here, because saying the total went down 4 points already, I think every total in the NFL went down this week. Every total that's outdoors because there's a lot of wind, which all the sharps, that's a big system for a lot of sharp bettors is betting windy under. So you're going to see all of the totals pretty much across the board, except for like the ones in Atlanta and wherever else is indoors. They've all gone down. So it's not anything crazy there.
2 words. Don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me the under in Minnesota and Chicago. Javon, yes, the totals are all moving down because of the winds, but either way, should a total between these 2 teams be at 43.5 now? This has moved down another half a point since we made this about 30 minutes ago. Holy shit. I mean, the Vikings offense, even without Jay Jettas, should be able to move the rock. I mean, come on, it's Kirk Cousins. He'll figure out a way. Even without him, they got plenty of weapons to at least move the ball down the field and get their guy, whatever their kicker's name is. What is it, Joseph?
Joseph.
Is it Joseph? They'll get Joseph loose. Honestly, that probably should have been my prize pick square here because they're not going to be scoring touchdowns with this low total. But the Bears are coming off of 2 legacy weeks where they fed DJ Moore and they put up a bazillion points. People are talking about Justin Fields looking the best he's ever looked in his football career the last 2 weeks. Guys, look at the defenses he played against. And I'm not saying the Vikings are much better, but they're a little bit better. They are. And I'll tell you what, the prize pick squares in this game are the main reason why I'm taking this under because Kirk Cousins has that weird touchdown square up that is screaming under to me. And Justin Fields as well. My prize picks meet on tape square of the weekends with him being up there for 1.5 pass rush receiving touchdowns after he's had back-to-back 4 pieces. Give me a break. Give me the under. This game's going to be nasty. These teams are going to look like dog shit. The Bears are going to regress. Justin Fields isn't going to look as sharp. The Vikings are going to sell out, do whatever they can to not let DJ Moore beat them this game because that's the only way the Bears can do that. That's the only way they did it the last 2 weeks. So if they take out DJ Moore from this game, it's not going to be easy, but double cover that mob. He's a beast. That's going to completely change the Chicago offense, and it's going to keep them way under their points threshold of what everyone's expecting from both sides. The Vikings with no Jay Jettas are not going to be performing as much either, although they might move the rock a little bit against the Bears. They're not going to be able to finish drives in the red zone without Jay Jettas. And honestly, the Vikings, they're just not that guy. Kirk Cousins might be filling up the stat sheets, Javon, but this offense with no Jay Jettas, what do they have to get up for? The most talked about thing right now is where is Kirk Cousins' next team? Yeah. And at this point, if they lose this game, which I'm not saying they are, I actually like the Vikings here in this spot. If they lose this game, Kirk might be gone. This team's dead. Give me the under. And I'll tell you what, this is more just a Bears fade. I want to fade them after their offense looked elite the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. I'm with it.
The Vikings worked out Colt McCoy the other day.
Bruh. What?
Yeah.
What?
Let the rumors swirl for Kirk Cousins.
Wow.
I know.
That is crazy.
It's nuts.
That is crazy. All right, we're going to pivot, talk about some Braves and Phillies, some plays for today. Real quick, though, first, if you guys didn't see this tweet from SportsCenter or the TikTok from SportsCenter last night, by the way, insane tweet from Trent last night. It literally made me laugh out loud. Talking about A.J. Dillon. Imagine having A.J. Dillon on your fantasy team, and bro is up at this hour farming. Also, he's got that Dal Dimmadome hat on as well from Fairly Odd Parents. Guys, is he just ripping Farmville right now, or at 1 a.m. at nights
Cooking,
when he's the starting running back on this team right now? What's going on here, folks? I don't know, but tweet from Trent. I mean, it's just hilarious to watch an NFL starting running back play, how to farm.
Yeah, it is.
Or whatever,
it's funny.
Whatever this is. And it's like, okay, you're playing 2K or you're playing, NHL or Madden or whatever. Sure. Is this what gets him going? Is this exciting? I don't really know here, folks.
Real Wisconsinite now. He's locked.
He does have a bye week. We'll give him a pass. Let the man farm if he's got a bye week. All right, let him be. But hilarious tweet, and got on SportsCenter. We'll show you the top of this tweet here. W's. Love to see the squad succeeding. We saw Lauren getting some shout outs for her I'm Horny shirt at the Texas game. W's. And A.J. Dillon here and Trent geeking. A.J. Dillon even retweeted it himself. Yeah, here it is. First stream of the season. Even he was geeking because he thought it was funny as shit. I mean, it was. That tweet blew up. Yes, it did. W tweet Trent. W surge stream starting up here in about 40 minutes. Stick around, guys. Okay. Braves-Phillies. Javon. Don't poke the bear. I think that's what we learned last night. Also, I think we learned officially that Bryce Harper is one of the best baseball players in the game. He might go down as one of the greatest ever. He is unbelievable. Guys, if you don't like Bryce Harper, even I like Bryce Harper. And he was a Nat. And I hate everyone and everything. If I like Bryce Harper, you guys definitely got to like him. Unbelievable, unless you're a Braves fan right now. My goodness. Javon, the stare downs, not once but twice after those home runs, electric. Gave me goosebumps. He didn't stop running. He didn't, jog slow. He didn't pimp the home run more than he had to. He didn't say anything. He did it the right way. He stared down that young shortstop, and he said, you don't fucking talk shit about me. I'm Bryce Harper. I'm better than you. And that gave me the chills last night watching that. One of the coolest moments in postseason baseball that I've seen since being alive. Straight up. Bryce Harper is unbelievable. We're witnessing a future Hall of Famer. We're witnessing one of the best players, one of the most exciting players in the sport's history. And he's still got a lot of ball to play. He's only 30 years old. Bryce Harper, it's official. This guy is unbelievable. In the biggest of moments, he gets chirped for no reason, by the way. I mean, just stupid. Why would you even say that? If I was a starting pitcher on the Braves, I would be pissed off. I'd be pissed. You don't say that shit to a better veteran on the other team when you're still in the middle of that series. I don't care if it wasn't meant to be heard outside the clubhouse. It was. And this is the revenge. Love to see it from Harper. Holy smokes, Javon. Right now, the Braves, backs against the wall, man. They're one more loss away from being out of this puppy, Javon. We've already seen the Dodgers go down. Moose piss. Are they next? Does Philly end this series right now with Strider on the bump?
I think they're next, but not tonight.
Okay.
Not tonight. But I definitely Braves this game, which I guess back to Bryce Harper for a second. He is absolutely unreal, and the only reason people have not admitted that he's as great as he is because of his attitude, and people can't stand it. But we be real. He is one of the greatest of the generation. He's going to continue to be. But I think we're on the same page here total-wise, which is the play that I would make on this game, on this under. I think Strider pitches well. We saw Arcia speak up and say stuff that he probably shouldn't have said about Bryce Harper. So did all the fans chanting, "We want Strider." They've destroyed him over the past handful of times, and we're gonna find out exactly what he's made of in this game. I think he pitches well. I think Ranger Suarez also pitches pretty decently too. So I like this to be a low-scoring slugfest type game. So I'm with you on the under, but I definitely lean Braves here.
Okay. Braves, I like the under. I'll tell you what, it's going to be the Strider show. He's been getting roasted so much, not only for his comments about the fans or whatever, but you're hearing the Philly fans, like you're saying, Javon, chirping, saying we want Strider. How do you think that's going to go? Not saying Strider is Bryce Harper. Not saying the fans are Orlando Arcia, but there's some comp there. And I'll tell you what, Spencer Strider does have some dog in him. And he's going to show that tonight. Give me the under in this game. I think they keep Philly limited offensively in this spot. I love that Atlanta opened up minus 155 in this spot. I was praying I wasn't going to see almost a pick 'em here because then I'd be a little bit worried about the under. But the total, the juice has moved down. It's loose, Javon. It's almost down to 8 some places. Shit, it might even be at 8 some places. Either way, it's still juicy. And the splits are good enough for me. Give me limited runs in I hate to say it, but a tight butthole game, like Trent says, an old baseball phrase. You're going to see tight buttholes up there at the plates in an elimination spot for Atlanta offensively and for Philly after everybody's been chirping Strider and they got to face the flamethrower up there. My goodness, with his back against the wall, I wouldn't want to be taking the over in that spot. And I'm not even a Strider guy. I faded Strider all the time this season. He was overvalued. Today, he's not. He's undervalued. I think the Braves get a win. I'm with you, Javon. They make this series go 5, and then Philly wins, like I said, before the series even started because they're the hottest team in baseball, and they have the best mojo I've ever seen. But I do think this game goes under today, too. My favorite bet on the MLB slate.
I'm with you there. Did you happen to take a look at the prize picks board for this game?
Yeah, I took a peep.
I know there's one square that you will fade so quickly the second you see it.
Well, I don't see an earned run square up there.
Not an earned run square. Go to the hit run RBI combos.
Oh, we got some combos today, folks. Wow. Would you look at that?
Looks like I don't care who's on the mound. That looks like the easiest square that they've ever put on the board, especially with Bryce Harper being on it, obviously, and it's at 3 flat, which is insane. That's got your name written all over it.
Folks, I might have just found a meat on tape prize pick square of the Eon today. This one is smacking. We've talked about the combos. We've talked about what to do with them. You fade. You take the less thans. I mean, Ronald Acuna and Bryce Harper after what Harper did last night and Acuna being Acuna, give me a break. If you're on the under in this game, you're legally obligated to take the square as well. Hand in hand. You have to. It was up yesterday. Sure, it was up yesterday.
Yeah, it was up yesterday. It was a higher number too, not 3 flats. So they bumped it down after yesterday, which is interesting. They also have Acuna is doubled down. He's in like the specials combo section. 2.5 total bases plus passing touchdowns for him and Russ. That should go well.
Oof. That's a little sketch. That doesn't make me feel great about my Broncos spread bet. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I also would not mind taking that Acuna less than a run on the prize picks board as well, Javon. He's been scoring like no other.
Yeah.
Give me the under and give me the less than on that square. W's. What else is sticking out, Javon? Anything else piquing your interest, tickling your fancy?
I mean, again, kind of lining up with the under and Strider pitching well. The 40.5 fantasy score is high, and I know you have to account for his strikeouts, and if he does end up going a while in this game, that's a lot of respect to put him relatively at the same that he was last game against them. He's seeing him for a second time, and obviously the leash is going to have to be very, very short in this game. That's a lot of respect, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that, along with Nick Castellanos, who hit 2 tanks last game, is up for 1.5 strikeouts with a red out chart.
Sheesh. All the signs are pointing towards a little Strider masterclass here. Oh, no.
Yeah. And that October 7, I believe, was the Strider start. One of the zeros on the board.
Oh, was it? That's convenient. Sure. That graph scares me. People are saying in chat, yeah, it should scare you, especially if you're on the Phillies or the over. It should petrify you. It should keep you up tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Castellanos, deep drive to left. How about Castellanos? 2 strikeouts today at least, maybe 4. Give him a golden sombrero. Okay. He ain't striking out twice. Slip. All right. Javon, any other squares you want to get to before we hop over to some Thursday night football talk?
No, I think we can hop over there.
Sure. Early thoughts? You like no points? You like no fun today?
Yeah, I like no fun. I think this is going to be a grinded out game here with the Chiefs run game is going to dominate this game. That's how I think they're going to milk a lot of clock here.
Huh. They're milking today, huh? I don't hate the under. I don't. We'll check out some of the bets here on BetShmem. Okay. Total has moved down a ton. We know the totals are all moving down. It is what it is. Under might be a spec public, but nothing to worry about, nothing to write home about there. Chiefs, shocker, very public. The Chiefs do not cover big spreads generally. And you guys know my contrarian ass doesn't love hearing that, but they don't cover fat spreads. And you know what? A team like the Chiefs, who's a team of destiny, and I know I said I'm not going to fade the Chiefs anymore last week after I found out that it's rigged to get them into the Super Bowl and get Taylor Swift there so they can pan her 1,000 times in the suite. And now I'm doing it again. But Javon, it is what it is. I got to take the points here, man. I got to back Russell Wilson. I don't love that square was up that you're talking about, that PP special square. That is no bueno.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the spread's moving back a little bit, back to 10.5 now, and I have to take the Broncos on the road, and I have to fade the Travis Kelce and the Taylor Swift narrative. I don't have a choice, man.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. This is like I mentioned the win stuff before for like the entire slate this weekend, but this is the one that I really hone in and lean into it because I do think, first of all, the Chiefs' run game and Pacheco, which I think has gotten better and better. The Broncos have also allowed a lot of explosive plays on the ground. I think it's going to be more of that today. And it's like somebody said it's going to be a book and shoe game that Trent's going to go crazy for. I 100% agree. So if the Broncos kind of sneak in here, that could be great. I'm not going to say that Russell Wilson is incapable of throwing the ball in heavy wins, but the one thing that concerns me is I would like them to at least have somewhat of a crutch of a running game, which they do. And Jaleel McLaughlin has been good since Javonte Williams has been out. Now Javonte Williams is back. So I have questions about how consistent that running game is going to be tonight against a pretty solid rush defense. So that's my one concern there. If it was still Jaleel McLaughlin just had as RB1 there, like he's been the last week or two, I would feel a little more confident. But with them both coming back and a little bit of a timeshare, I have questions. So that it's a little concerning for me. I think they're going to be a little off their game as far as an offense goes. And the Chiefs, just the Pacheco show today.
Do you think the Broncos keep this one within the number? Do you think they keep it within 10?
I think they can because it's like this game is similar to how I feel about Eagles-Jets. Like I think their run game is going to dominate and they're going to have a lot of long drives. Like the one issue for the Broncos has been they've allowed a good amount of explosive plays. You saw that last week with Breece Hall. So I think Pacheco breaks one of those, possibly for a touchdown, which I would love for my fantasy score. But I just think they're going to ground and pound this game. Patty Mahomes is not going to have to do all that much, and I don't know how healthy Travis Kelce is going to be. I assume he's going to play, but maybe be the slightest bit limited. And part of that is going to be because it's going to be a lot of run game, a lot of bang in there.
Huh. Tell you what, doesn't Pacheco just run like he's, his feet are on fire?
He runs like he's angry at the ground.
Yeah, it runs like somebody hurt him. Pacheco, who hurt you, bro? It's okay. You'll be all right. You're in the NFL. Shake it off, my man. Somebody hurt you. Maybe it was an ex-girlfriend. I don't know, but he's running like he's thinking about her. I'll tell you that much. That guy runs angry. I'm a Pacheco guy. Not tonight as a plus 11 ticket holder on the Broncos, but he's nice. Yeah. I think they might have gotten a guy there.
Oh, check boost on FanDuel. Pull that up, Goods. I need to see what it is.
Oh, show me the money. Show me the money.
That's what we need to see most from any primetime game. It's just what that boost is.
Damn.
So that tells the story.
All right.
It should be it should be like below that on a bar of its own.
Let's see. Weekly specials?
Maybe click on the game.
I don't know if there's any specials here,
Might
folks.
be caked.
I'm not seeing them.
Banged. Go to the homepage. Click the homepage. And then go across the top where it says TNF and all the scroll all the way to the right. On the little bar right below that. There you go, boost.
Damn, they hide those puppies, huh?
Yeah, they hide it. It's locked up in the back. Where did it go? Okay, well, we have it in chat. There it is, up on the screen. That makes me feel fantastic as an under in Pacheco better.
Yeah, go back to that. We got Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, each to have 200 passing yards. Oh, my God.
Yes.
You got to be kidding me, man.
Yes. Love
You've
to see that.
got to be kidding me. I mean, is it as simple as, do they have a combo passing yard square on Prize Picks that we can take today to less
Ooh.
than?
That could be the difference.
How about that, Javon? How about me thinking 10 steps ahead?
That could be a difference. I think we did that last time, and it was air, right? They do have one, 487.5. Yeah,
Chat.
I bet.
Oh my gosh, chat. You pair that with a little Acuna Harper less than 3 hits, runs, RBIs, and you might be able to literally quit your day job.
That's the conspiracy two-piece of the day.
Holy smokes. That is nuts, Javon. That is nuts. Oh, I'm so in. I'm so in. I'm locking it in right now. Give me it. All right. We've got some good squares today, bro. Oh, my goodness. You just made my day, Javon. Right now, 4 squares that I love that we've talked about so far. You got that Acuna Harper less than 3 hits, runs, RBI square. You got Strider more than fantasy score. You got Nick Castellanos more than 1.5 strikeouts. And you got Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson less than passing yards combo. Woo. That's gross.
I like it.
That's gross.
All
right.
Kids. While we're
What else
here,
in this game,
do you
Javon?
want to? I don't know if I was going to ask if you had anything else, but so far we don't. We could stay on the PP board and look at a little NFL sprint.
Yeah, you are absolutely starving for an NFL sprint slip, aren't you?
Well, it's because there's a couple of them, which I mean, I wasn't even looking for them. Obviously, like when I pop up for like Buck squares, I didn't go searching them out. But there's a couple on the board for the Bucks that are really, really odd to me. It's not again, not like I was looking for them. Those are the ones that stood out from like, why are these on the board? First one that I see, which both of them kind of correlate with this week. Obviously, doesn't need to happen this week, but they have Rashad White up for a receiving touchdown, which he hasn't had this year. He hasn't really even come close this season. They haven't even utilized him the slightest bit when they get down to the goal line in the passing offense, like at all. So the fact that this square is up is shocking, and they do face a couple of teams like this week. Really good run defense in the Lions. They face the Falcons coming up, so like they're not going to be able to run on these teams. So the fact that this is up, it makes me think that he's going to get involved in the passing game, but it also lines up with the defenses they're going to face, which are it's really strange to me that that's up. I will have to indulge in that. And then the other one is on the other side of the ball, which again, they face a couple of quarterbacks here in the next couple of weeks, I think are in pretty tough spots. Even Jared Goff, I think he's going to be human. I think he's throwing a pick this weekend. Then they face Desmond Ridder, who knows what you're going to get from that guy on the road. They have Jamel Dean up for a pick. You know when the last time is he had a pick?
When?
Week 2 of last season.
Ooh. Jimmy Dean?
Yeah, Jamel Dean. And he really hasn't been great all so much this season, too. And he's only played 3 games. He missed last week. So he didn't even play last week or last game. So coming off a bye week. And the Bucs defense is dominant in the word for stretches like early in last season. He was a massive, massive facet in the PBU game. So Jamel Dean facing a couple quarterbacks this week that are going to give him some chances. And he's shown nothing for the past really calendar year, picks-wise. They got the script.
Damn, you want to throw in Baker Mayfield, maybe Mike Evans in here too? Just make it a full buck slip?
Yeah, definitely not. But I generally think both of these could hit this weekend.
Okay. Well, then we're putting them in. I don't care what teams they're on. I don't give a hoot. Rashad White, more than half a receiving touchdown. Jimmy Dean, more than half a pick. Okay. W's. Javon, what else is looking at you funny? Any nasty squares up there? Any squares you saw that you were like, whoa, what is this doing up there?
Yeah, I mean, those were really, and again, not just because they're the Bucs, but those are really the ones that stood out to me. Those and then maybe a little Sam Howell rushing touchdown that's on the board.
There's no way you're about to say that right now.
I was just saying the squares that stood out to me when I was looking at it because
I literally am looking at it right now.
Yeah, that one 100% sticks out like a sore thumb. So, I mean, I wouldn't hate that at all.
I mean, he's getting a rushing tutty.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't been scared to run. That's no secret.
No, dude. Not
and
at
he's
all.
going to face, a couple of really good front sevens that are going to push him out of the pocket, too. I mean, starting this week with the Falcons, then I guess not the Giants as much, but the Eagles, I think, the week after that. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, could be on the move.
And I'll tell you what, I've already seen it. A 30-yard pass to Terry in the end zone, no catch. But what does Terry do? He draws that nice yellow flag. And what do we get? The ball in the 1. And what happens next? A QB sneak. And then what happens? We catch our slip. Or we catch that square. It's that simple, folks. I've already seen it. Give me Sam Howell and his thick ass who's never had a freaking hamburger in his entire life. The math does not check out here. How is he built like a unit? And the guy's never even eaten a steak. I don't get it. Oh, that's also just a huge red flag, man. Huge red flag.
Yeah, it is.
Come on,
I
Sam.
don't know. That couldn't be my quarterback, man.
Come on, Sam. Unbelievable. That is my QB. And I still think he's the guy. I haven't given up yet. He's not our issue right now. That's for sure. Any passing interceptions up? No, none.
No, but they do have – they have some Bears stuff up, which I figure starting this week you might want to fade. It just makes – it's crazy because the Bears in these weeks that count for the sprints, they go Vikings, Raiders, Chargers, 3 pretty horrendous defenses, and the Saints, which is a tougher matchup in New Orleans. So we see DJ Moore up for 1.5 touchdowns. Justin Fields up for 5.5 passing touchdowns.
That's it?
Yeah. If that doesn't seem ridiculously air, I don't know what does.
Oh, my goodness, bro. The one way the Bears can succeed is if DJ Moore goes freaking apeshit and he just puts up a 200-yard game with 2 tutties. What are teams going to do when they're watching film and prepping to beat the Bears? I'd assume it's going to be, how do we slow down this goat? They got to be selling out to take him out of the game and let anyone else beat him. If I was the head coach of an NFL team, that's what I'd be doing. Hand me the damn clipboard. You want to fade DJ Moore?
Figured you'd want to. I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm getting myself to push the button, but I figure you'd be on that. Coming off of a 3-touchdown game, but a touchdown before that too. So the first sprint was weeks 2 to 5, and he had 5. And that was in the worst stretch, I guess, of offense that the Bears have gotten to play so far this season. Now you're getting 1.5. I bet.
Interesting, bro. Very interesting. I'm looking through some of these rush yards.
Could back Stafford too.
Yeah, who does he play the next 4 weeks?
Let's take a quick little look here. Obviously starting off with the Cardinals this week. Going to the Steelers at home next week. Then you go on the road to the Cowboys and Packers. And no, these sprints don't go away when TNF starts. Or actually, maybe they do because Stafford's listed here. So I guess they just might. I thought they were going to do like goat whale squares.
Do you want to take Stafford's passing yards, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'd be down to do that.
And read me those 4 teams they're playing again.
So at home, first 2 games against the Cardinals and Steelers. Then on the road, the next 2 against the Cowboys and Packers.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. They're either going to be having a great matchup against a shitty secondary, or they're playing a really good team who they're going to be behind and they're going to need to pass. Okay. I'm in for that. Right now we've got Rashad White, more than half a receiving touchdown. We've got Jamel Dean, more than half a pick. We got Sam Howell, more than half a rushing touchdown. And we got Matt Stafford, more than 1,100-ish pass yards. Okay? Steelers defense is crazy good. LMAO. Is their pass defense that good? I don't think it is.
Bad. It's just not. It's league average.
Their D-line's elite. Their secondary's average. Even if the Steelers are winning that game at any point, you're going to need Stafford to get some passing yards to catch up. So if you think the Steelers win that game, they're going to need to be passing to catch up anyways. So give me a break.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to take Carlson more than field goals made after he's been new shit?
Do we take the 50-yard field goals?
I don't know about the 50 piece because I'm worried that they might not let him kick as far away. Unless you look up the schedule and you see they've got like 3 home games or 4 games in a dome. Because if he's playing in 4 domes, then I could be interested in maybe taking the 50 piece. But either way, Carlson is one of the best kickers in football. Guys, I have in fantasy football. He's been killing me. He's one of the worst kickers statistically so far this year. He has no kicks, and he's missed a couple. What do you got?
What if I told you we got 3 out of the 4 games in a dome?
Are 2 of those at home at least?
2 of those are at home, and then the other one is Monday Night Football against the Lions in Detroit.
Plenty of points there. Plenty of kicks to be made there. That's where we saw Justin Tucker kick his 75 million yard field goal. Huh. And we just saw Myers miss 2 50 pieces, unfortunately for Joe. That's interesting. I'm down to put that in. More than 1.5 50 pieces from our guy Carlson. And we can kind of hop on Shelly's little season-long entry here, Javon, and sweat that out with him too for the next couple weeks. I'm in. Okay. W's. Martians might be lurking, chat saying.
Lurking?
Sounds like a fish tank. Yeah, it is getting worse. Javon, you mind hopping out, unplugging?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. There we go. See ya. Javon in the fish tank. Okay. There he is, Goots. Goots. Prize Picks entry number 2, man. That didn't smack, did it?
No, we don't need to talk about that, but we move.
Oh, you want to take Zay Flowers, so I'm very high on over the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
What do you like about Zay?
I mean, he's been hitting his receiving yard props like pretty much every week. I think there might have been 1 week he didn't. I don't know. I just think Lamar will keep feeding him the ball.
Chat, what do we think about Zay Flower? I'm interested. Javon back. Sounding beautiful, sounding clear.
There we go.
Crystal clear.
There we
go. Our guy Goods here wants to back his guy Zay Flowers. Javon, I wouldn't mind it. Is it a little square, maybe? I wouldn't say it's the sharpest angle, but Zay Flowers has looked great to start the season. I'm still high on him. He's only going to get better as a rookie as Lamar and him continue to build a rapport. He plays at the Cardinals on the roads. That could be a weird game with a lot of points. He plays the Lions at home. They play the Titans on the road, which maybe this week he won't ball as much, or maybe they have a bye actually.
This week? No, they're in London.
No, they're in London.
No, they are in. They do play this weekend in London. So they got the London game against the Titans.
I don't think their bye week is till week 10.
Yeah, they probably don't put up squares.
Any of these squares, yeah, there's no buys. But.
Yep. Okay. And then they've got a game against the Seahawks at home. I wouldn't mind taking his more than receiving yards. A young receiver, number 1 receiver. Good. So you putting meat on tape for this?
Meat on tape.
Oh, man.
Meat on tape. Say no more. Okay. I'm in for that. Zay Flowers. I need him to kick up in one of my fantasy leagues anyways. I still believe in him. He's been doing great. Just needs to get the rock a little bit more. And with some of these matchups coming up, he just might.
Yeah.
All right. Javon, let me know what you think about this. And Goose, we could probably show this on the screen too for the people if possible. What do you think about this 6-piece for the NFL sprints coming up? We got Rachaad White. We got Jamel Dean. Sam Howell is up there as well. We got Matt Stafford. Daniel Carlson to rebound. And then Zay Flowers to continue building momentum. Okay.
I feel like we should make this a 4-piece.
Oh, boo.
I feel like we should make this
no fun.
Boo.
It's just telling me in the gut, man. The gut is telling me making a 4-piece.
All right,
Cat just wants to go full 6-piece.
Well, of course they're going to say full 6-piece, but if you want to see a 4-piece go through the net.
I'm a man of the people, man. I don't care about going through the net. I want winners.
Man of the people doesn't say comments like that. That's an anti-man of the people comment.
Yeah. Well, you can pick one of the Bucks. Pick one of the Bucks to keep in there and then take the other one out.
I want you to pick one of the Bucks. That's your team.
I like them both equally.
Okay. Then let's go with Rachaad White to get a receiving touchdown.
There we go.
Okay. I think we keep Hal. I think we pick between the 2 QBs, and I'll let you pick this one. You want to keep Stafford or you want to keep Hal?
I do like Stafford a little better.
Same. Let's get Hal out of there. Let's get any biases out of there. God forbid he's the one that sells it. My DMs are going to be even worse than they already are. We'll take Hal out. That's what chat wants anyways. Little 4-piece hold to fry. Let's see one go through the hoop, Javon. Why not?
Yeah,
Why not?
Let's do that.
We got Rachaad White, more than half a receiving tutty. Matt Stafford, more than 1,100-ish passing yards. We got Daniel Carlson, more than 1.5 50 pieces. Come on. And we got Zay Flowers, more than 250.5 receiving yards. All right, boys, I'm in. I like this 4-piece. I'm going to put, for prize picks, a 10 UM. I'm going to put a rack on this. A rack to win 10.
Are we taking the 50-yarders or the regular field goals for Carlson? So we have the 50-yarder on the board.
50-yarder.
50-yarder?
Yeah.
And with
him playing in the domes and stuff, I think we do it. Javon, does this look right? All more than's? Rashad, Matt, Daniel Carlson, and Zach?
There we go. That's it.
All right, chat. If your goat whale is already kicked and you're looking for some more skin in the game that you get to sweat out for the next couple weeks and not just be a media cake this weekend, why don't you hop in on our little NFL sprints for week 6 through 9? Also, W vibes there, week 6 through 9. A little 4-piece. Hold the fry here, ladies and gents. I'm going to lock this in. I'm going to throw a foul wow on it because I trust. 1,000 to win 10K. Ooh, okay. I'm in. Bang. Bang. 2 words.
Slip.
All right.
Slip.
Donation. Yeah, that's definitely a real profile picture. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep moving and grooving here, Javon. I want to talk about Thursday night college football before we get to the squad ride, and we don't have much time. Okay. 2 games. Honestly, I'm pretty happy with what we got for Thursday night football. We've got 3 games on, including NFL. What do you think about the Mountaineers coming down to Houston to play a team you're pretty familiar with here, Javon? Please tell me it's the points. Please.
The line tells you the points. And I was this close to squaring up and taking West Virginia, but I can't do it with that line. The line screams it. But I think that West Virginia is one of those teams that people don't realize how good they are, especially on defense. Because I've seen them obviously a couple games, which week 1, I thought Penn State keeping that game close for a majority of it. Yes, they did pull away in the end. Thought that was kind of just a lack of explosiveness and sharpness from Penn State. But in reality, the more that I've watched West Virginia, they were really good defense for the Big 12. Their front 7 wrecks havoc. Their secondary is really good at pretty much every level. It's like I believe in this team long term. They're a team that I want to start buying into, especially in matchups like this where that's a terrible defense they're facing on the other side, especially in the run games. Like C.J. Donaldson might run for 150 and 2 touchdowns. So everything about the line screams Houston, but I can't do it. And yeah,
I'm on Houston. Give me the points. I'll do
figured
it for you, Javon. Give me the 3. We might need them. Give me Houston. Yeah. Nasty. They've looked like crud the entire season so far. Very disappointing. Not really shocked to see them not succeed, but I'll be honest with you, I am a little shocked with how good West Virginia's looked so far this year, with them already being 4-1 here. I need a fade. More just like a spot fade here with a team on the road who's been playing too well, and by and low with a 2-3 team here like Houston who's playing here at home against West Virginia. So give me the points. Give me the home team. I'm not happy about it. The splits look great. The line's moving and grooving our way. Moving down from -4.5 to -3 for WB. So it's a nasty bet. It is what it is. You're fading the public. You're going up against, or you're fading what makes sense football brain wise. But sometimes you got to do that. And in football, those bets pay the most out of any sport. So give me the points. Give me Houston. I'm not saying they're going to win this game, but I do still think they cover. And I grab this before it gets to 2.5. Even if it does, I wouldn't mind it one bit. Javon, real quick, SMU, ECU, another team you're pretty familiar with down there in Texas. What do you think about SMU?
Before we hop off of this game, there's a square that I'm taking regardless, but I feel like you'd be very interested in.
Give me.
Got Garrett Green's up for a pick. He hasn't had one all season, and he is strangely -130 to throw a pick. And you would think on paper that this game they wouldn't really have to throw the ball very much because Houston's run defense is so bad. So when they do, I feel like it's going to get weird. So he's up for a pick, and he's -130 to go over it for God knows what reason. He's probably throwing a pick.
It's looking like Garrett Green's throwing a pick, folks. Yeah. Holy shit. That is wild. Yeah. That's wild. Okay, I'm in. And guys, make sure you know that these interception charts are not accurate.
Yeah. This one happens to me, though.
But this one is, okay?
Yeah, just
so pretend like it is normally for this square, because with a -120 to the over on the books, I mean, give me a break, -133 here on props.cash. If you guys aren't using props.cash to smack more prize picks entries, you are living in the Stone Age, you might as well be a caveman living in a freaking hut. Okay, figure it out. It's cheap. Try it out for a month. If you don't like props.cash after a month, which, by the way, you're going to because it's going to help you hit more slips and get more coin, cancel. It's cheap. Use our promo in the chat. $20 for 1 month. Go check it out. I promise you won't be disappointed. It's helped me immensely hitting more slips. Not even close. Javon, Garrett Green, he's throwing some picks.
He's throwing a pick.
Okay. W's. I'm in. Javon, SMU, ECU, give me the quick rundown about the Mustangs here.
Yeah, I mean, I want nothing to do with this game, but I'd probably lean ECU with the points here. This is a kind of a gross game. SMU, I don't know why they play call like they have been the rest of the season because, like, they can't run the ball, but all they do is try and run the ball. I don't know if it's a not believing in Preston Stone type thing to operate the offense like a Tanner Mordecai did it or whatever the story is, but run the ball, chewing clock, a lot of long drives. That's why they haven't been able to pull out for a lot of these big leads. So I don't want to trust them in this spot on the road here against ECU, but it's probably no play for me there.
I think I'm with you, man. I lean the Pirates, but, man, they lost a lot. I mean, they're starting RB from last year's in the league. They're starting QB from last year's in the league as a backup. ECU, an overperformer last season, at least with that offense, has really taken a step back, and I'm not willing to bet them at home on the points, but gun to my head, that's where I would lean plus 12, plus 12.5, whatever you can get. That line is moving a little bit in a good direction for ECU. They're about to be plus 12 most places. I wouldn't be rushing to bet that one, though, guys. Just stick with Houston if you're looking for a college football play today, or take that interception square in that game as well. Javon, any prize pick squares in SMU, ECU?
No, nothing for me there.
Okay. W's. Chat, if you guys are watching this in YouTube, that is more than okay. I appreciate it. And make sure you hit that subscription button. But why don't you come on over to the Twitch page, Book It Sports, so you can vote for the squad rides and get involved, because I want to see 100 votes for the winner here. We've got plenty of plays we like today, plenty of prize pick squares, Javon. 0 excuses for a squad ride to lose. None.
Need it.
And that's on us. We got to give the people some options and give them a little alley-oop so they can finish this one like LeBron James. Plain and simple. All right? I think we put Houston in here on the spread.
Sure.
Okay. Not loving that, but that's okay. I think we put the Braves-Phillies under in there.
Yes. Down for that. And I would love to put the under 47 for TNF in here as well.
Sure. We can most certainly put that in here. All right, Atlanta Philly under. We'll go. It might just be an under day here, folks. Denver KC under 46.5. Sure. What else?
Down. What else do we have? I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but I'm on the Devils Red Wings over 6.5 in this game. In that game.
Ooh. Do we want to put hockey in here?
We don't need to because we didn't really talk about it. But
okay,
trying to think of what else we had today.
We could put that interception square in.
Yeah, we could put the interception square or Garrett Green to throw a pick.
Yeah, well, isn't that is the interception square, isn't it?
Or I meant the interception square or the combo under passing yards.
I think I'd rather put the pick in there.
I would too. Just giving options here.
Okay. We need one more play, folks. What are we thinking? Where are we dropping? I wouldn't be opposed to putting in the Broncos spread. I am on that at plus 11. We could put that in there. If you're super sketched, though, we already have the under. We could go somewhere else, maybe do a prize pick square. What are you thinking?
Yeah, well, I saw rumors of a certain tweet dropping with the Broncos, so I'm probably good there. I don't know what else we have, though.
Why don't we go with that passing yards less than combo?
I'm in.
You're in for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find that real quick. We'll go Russ, Mahomes, less than, what are they at? 487.5.
Yep.
Bidding that blue book boost. No free
Mhm.
ads, W's. All right, chat. 5 plays, 5 winners. This is going to be a quick 3-minute poll, so hurry up, go, go, go. Houston +3, Atlanta, Philly under, Denver, Kansas City under, Garrett Green more than half an interception, and Russ Mahomes less than combo pass yards. Chat, these are 5 good-looking plays. I don't want to hear any excuses from your end because we're alley-ooping you guys some winners. Click the right button, as you always do. I'm not wavering after one loss. You guys have kept us and our bankroll secured for the last year. Keep picking the right buttons, all right? Keep clicking winners. Whatever you're doing, it's working. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get in there, into the Twitch chat. Get your votes in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. There's no time. We got 2 minutes. Hurry up. Damn, that under people like, huh?
Yeah.
Good.
Guess so.
Good. We got Ghost Day coming in hot with a sub bank, 2 months. Appreciate that, Beast. W supports. Chat. Remember, we've got a surge stream coming up. All right. And that's not the only content you've got today. We also dropped a pod earlier today. So if you guys want to check out that, the squad was talking and just put out their little We'll Be Seeing pod today. Go check it out. They're talking about sports topics left and right. They're talking about life. Just more of a fun pod. Go check out the We'll Be Seeing and see what the squad has going on today. It is live right now on YouTube and Spotify. Go check it out. Honestly, I've been very impressed with the pod so far. They've been killing it. So I need to get on that when I come down to Dallas next time for sure and see what's going on. But W editing, segments, they've been killing it. Make sure you guys check out this podcast today. It just dropped. Alan watched it.
Yeah, Alan was tapped.
W. Allen. And still cannot confirm if that's Jimmy's dad or not, but it definitely could be in some sort of parallel universe. People
were saying.
Yep. All right, chat. You got about 3 seconds. Hurry up. Go, go, go. Get your votes in. And you got about 30 seconds. Get them in. We got 93 votes for the Denver, Kansas City under 46.5. Looking like that's going to run away with it. And I'm not mad about it one bit. Javon, Denver, KC. No points to be found. We got Blue Book boost for passing yards. We got the total dip in. This is sharp. I'm in. Looks like it's going to run away with the poll. Over 100 votes. Love to see it, chat. You brought the energy today. You brought the focus. You brought the sub bangs. You brought the chats. And hopefully you brought the winners for this BTL squad ride vote. It's going to be Denver, Kansas City under 46.5. All right, chat. Love it. W Day today. I will make sure we post that BTL May for the little sprint coming up in the NFL for the next 4 weeks. I'll post that. We'll be good to go there. As always, you guys can find us at BookItBTL for any BTL content or on our socials, which are right below. But I know you guys are already following. Just make sure you're subscribed and following on Twitch. Go check out the We'll Be Seeing pod today and stick around for the Surge stream. All right, we're not done yet. We're just the openers. We're just getting started here, folks. Surge stream firing up here in a minute, and we'll catch you guys on here tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing.
We will.
W's, Javon.